Hi devs, it's time for another code review tip. Today's tip, what to look for in a code review. So what should you look for in a code review? Or perhaps when reviewing your own code before you submit it for review? Well, obviously you want to look for bugs. There are several ways that bugs commonly arise. For example, failure to handle null pointers or uninitialized variables. Likewise, error handling, does the code handle exceptions or check status values? Other common sources of bugs are incorrect logic, missed edge cases, and off by one bugs. So while you should look for bugs like this in a code review, in my experience, linting tools and a good set of unit tests will usually catch those things. So I don't think that's actually where you should spend most of your review time. Instead, it's much more important to focus your review on things that a computer can't find. One good example is the understandability or the maintainability of the code. Can you quickly grasp what the code is doing? If not, it probably needs to be reworked, or if all else fails, commented. That brings me to another thing that a computer won't catch, but a human should. Comments. Comments that document functions should be descriptive and make it clear what the function does and how to use it, so that you don't have to read the code to figure this out. Implementation comments should make it easy for someone reading the code to understand the code. They should explain why instead of what. Why comments are extremely valuable when maintaining code. They should be provided anytime the intent of the code is not obvious. Another important thing a reviewer should check is, what did the developer miss or leave out? I actually find this to be the most difficult part of a review. It's usually straightforward to look over existing code and find ways it could be improved. But it's quite challenging to look over code and think about what it should be doing that it's not. For example, is the architecture sound? Will it scale? Or are there user actions that weren't handled? And when looking for things that were missed, don't forget the tests. Finding missing tests, though, can be straightforward. I suggest that while you are looking over the code, you constantly ask yourself, does this need to be tested? Write those down, and then when you go over the tests, check to make sure they were done. And don't forget to make sure that the tests are actually testing what they claim to be, and that they test error handling and edge cases. But don't forget that not everything needs to be tested. So these are some of the things that I think you should look for in a review. Put your effort on the important things and let the trivial things go, and focus on things that only humans can catch instead of things that tools can catch.